But yeah, so I've got Koda here at Queen's Park today, and I'm working her on a slip lead. Essentially just it's like a correction chain, but it's just in a lead. She doesn't need a lot with this. Like, she's learnt that pressure really well. Before we expose her to any dogs, there's a wedge of dogs down there. Good. We just want to load this marker. Okay. This is her breakfast as well. Good. Right, we just want to make sure that, good. See that reflexive response we've been able to achieve? That's key, right? So I didn't ask her to SIT then, so I'm not going to release her. If she does that, that's cool. We just use that pressure as you saw. Good. To get her out of it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to do some desensitization with Koda. Or some counter conditioning, same thing. So the dogs are down there. They're a fair way away. Good. But she can definitely see them. Good. And, sorry, sweetheart, dropped it. She can definitely see them. And, good. We can also just reinforce, obviously, everything that we've been doing as well. So that walking on heel, not pulling on the lead. She's a little bit heightened. Good. Good. Right. We don't really want to give her a choice to take the food, like we want her to take it. But in saying that all comes down to our threshold as well. So we need to figure out what her threshold is. Like, I've got a pretty good idea. It's that 8 to 10 meters before she's actually well over it. But we don't want to be anywhere near that. Okay, if we're there, we've lost. This way. If we're there, we're lost. So we need to be working way at a distance. Okay, good. When she's checking in too, we can give her a good marker and give her some food. But essentially, yeah, we want to, good. She's just glancing down at the dogs. Good. Good. All right. That reflexive response is there, but the reflexive response is only, well, we want it to be good under high threshold situations as well, but essentially, it's not going to be, right? Like, once dogs go over threshold, their food drive disappears, their pain tolerance goes through the roof, so there's no point giving corrections or anything like that. Good. She's a little bit, good. There's not even a dog up there, it's just people. But yeah, she's a bit, you can see the heckles are up. It's just a lack of confidence, I guess you could say, but we also have to be careful here. These dogs are off lead, and it is a unfenced park, so it is, I don't know what the issue is there. That's interesting. Good. And we want to just literally put that, so what I said before about, like, we don't really want to give her a choice to take the food, as long as we're outside of that threshold and we're not, as long as she hasn't exploded and gone over threshold, we should be able to just deliver that food under her nose. And if we don't get that reflexive response, we want that obviously, but if we don't get it, good. We can just put that food under her nose to just make sure that association to the word is still there. Good. But as you can see, like, we're a fair distance. We'd probably be 20 meters or maybe more, 30 meters from the dog park, but this is where we want to start. All right, we don't want to be trying to walk straight past it. And what we're doing, she dropped it. Okay? Can't miss those bits of food, right? What we want to be doing in this circumstance, so Koda is showing the reactivity in my eyes because she's not confident, right? So she's lacking confidence. And how we can change that emotional response is by creating a positive association. Good, right? We don't want her to stare for any more than sort of 2 or 3 seconds, all right? And if she is engaged for that long, we can just use our lead and create distance from that stimulus. Good. But the reason that we are using this good marker and wanting that reflexive response is because it's obviously going to break that. It's going to break that. Good. It's going to break the that focus or that stare. Okay, so she's walking really well. Mate, not in front of me. This is the first time we've been to Queen's Park too, right? So this is like a very new environment. Let's go. I don't mind if she has a sniff, okay? Again, to give you an idea, I'm holding on to her with my pinky, okay? The amount of pressure that I'm applying is very, very minimal. This way. And this goes back to our loosely walking skills. She drifts out in front, we change direction. I want her to be tuned in. Good. When she's walking in the good spot, good. We can mark and reinforce, okay? Good. Good go. Rightio. Anyway, back to this kind of conditioning. Essentially, we want to just be walking in parallel to the stimulus, okay? Ideally, the stimulus isn't closing distance to us. We are closing distance to the stimulus. So these guys are all playing over there. There's some dogs barking. They're all playing over there. There's a bush and stuff in the way. Good. Anyway, so I just had to delete some content from my phone. Good. So obviously not observing the environment, and there's a dog approaching us and she's gone over threshold. That one little bark, you know, we're recovering from it. Good. But essentially that's not ideal. You want to avoid that. Again, good. Me being preoccupied, deleting my phone data, and not paying attention to the environment. And it is important to pay attention to the environment when you're doing this stuff. Good. Right, so we wanted to look. Wait. Yeah. We wanted to look and mark with our condition reinforcer. Okay, and we just slowly want to, as I said, working in parallel to the stimulus, making sure we're not going over threshold. This way, we're not going to be practicing any inappropriate lead manners either. Good. She's very intrigued to get in there, but we want to, I'm actually going to just spend a little bit more time managing the lead and her. Good. Good. Good girl. And I've actually found Koda much prefers physical pats, praise, and attention than food. So, for me anyway, good. So, just being mindful that if I actually really want to take into consideration reinforcing her, then, you know, if I am shoving food in her mouth, like, sure, she needs it to live, but good. But she's not really finding it that appetitive. Like, she doesn't really love it that much. Whereas a good little scratch would, and a rough up is fantastic. So, again, we are getting her to engage, marking, good, and creating distance. You can see there the heckles are up. Oi, Koda. Good. Okay. And again, I've dropped the lead, but she's working so well off lead that I'm not super concerned. We might try and cut through here. Just again, managing the environment, making sure there's no dogs approaching in a direct path. There's dogs up there, or a dog. Good. That was fantastic. Good girl. Good. So she's just super distracted. I wanted to come back into this loosely walking behaviour. Let's go. Good. Again, fine. Sniff. I don't mind that. Good. Dog out there. We're walking in a direct path towards it. But again, managing this. Good. Hey, good girl. Good girl. Just getting there. Like, she was definitely increasing in arousal then. Got a dog that way. Good. Good. Don't really want to be correcting for that engagement, because dogs can associate that correction as a, like, that dog's approaching me and I'm getting a correction because of it. So that can actually create more reactivity. We definitely want to be using positive reinforcement and that conditioned reinforcer, to get that engagement back onto us while the dog is still outside of that threshold. So I would never use a correction I'd avoid using a correction if she does bark, but I'll be using negative reinforcement, which is essentially, say for instance she did go over threshold here, I'd just be going like this and getting her out of there and just giving her leash pops to keep her coming, because I have noticed the couple of times that she has become fixated on something that she sort of tries to engage with it. Okay, so closes that gap. So yeah, just pop, getting her out of there. This way. Good. As you can see, loosely walking skills are doing much better. We're walking in a beeline to the dog park again. This distance, fine, but once we get closer, we need to get back into that parallel motion. This way. Don't mind if she has a sniff, but she needs to be responsive to that leash pressure. Good. Hey, good. Good girl. She needs to be responsive to that leash pressure, and also follow direction when I ask her to keep coming, okay? So, and if she didn't, I would just essentially pull her out of that sniff. Right? She will concede to that pressure eventually. Good. Good. So that glance there, just reinforcing, giving her a pat. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to look. I wanted to be like, oh, these things aren't actually that bad. I can look, right? And then we can also, if we say good and then she makes eye contact or engages with us, we could also then use that condition reinforcer again to let's go. Use that condition reinforcer to try to build the success of her engaging with us as well. So like where she sees another dog, she'll look at us as a default, just in anticipation of that condition reinforcer. So we're pretty close to other dogs here. Again, this is different to walking down a path and coming face to face, but this is the step to desensitize and counter condition any reactivity towards the dogs. Another dog up here. Shepherd, good. Good. Good girl. Right, so another shepherd there. She's certainly not breeders. She just likes, or she just is reactive to most dogs. But she's definitely getting better. Like the work with the other animals, like the horses, chickens, etc., have definitely helped with that. Just on the training journey in general, really. But good. Good. Good girl. So that was a really good one. I don't love stopping when we're doing this sort of work, so you don't really want to ever. Okay, and another big thing that you don't ever want to do is command, like if she does start reacting, your best bet is typically, oops, want a drink? Your best bet is actually typically to just keep moving, okay, and create distance. Even though that might be what she's reacting for, it is practically impossible to manage a dog over threshold. So just getting out of there and, you know, resetting the session is the go. Good. Good girl. This way. Or do you want some more water? Okay. Good. But yeah, don't ever, let's go. Don't ever put her in a sit or a down or anything like that, or attempt to anyway, if she does go over threshold, because that's just gonna sit her in that emotion, and it's gonna increase significantly. So this has been a great little session. She had that one little reaction when I wasn't paying attention, which is my fault, and that dog was walking directly towards us. So essentially this, yeah, as I said, this is the path that we need to go on to start desensitizing and counter conditioning towards other dogs. She's doing really well. Use food, use play, praise, you know, whatever. That condition reinforcer, good. Although it is primarily conditioned towards food, like that is our main goal to start off with. Good. When we load it, there's the biggest mistake most dog trainers make is choosing the reinforcer for the dog and not letting the dog choose the reinforcer. So on a scale of 1 to 10, is there a dog up there? No, it's a kid. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say food is probably about like a 4, or maybe, I'd say 4's being pretty good. Pretty good for like a pretty good scale for her food drive. Whereas that play, praise sort of stuff, I'd say it's more like a 6 or a 7. So for me, I'd want to be using, good, using this. Good, good girl. Using this play style stuff, good girl, more than food, or as well as food. But yeah, again, need to let the dog choose their reinforcer because they know what they like, not us. Anyway, Koda, sit. Good. Good girl. Good. They know what they like, not us, and essentially they got to choose it. All done. Great little session. That was, you know, it's probably going on 20 minutes. Probably too long, but good to get that content filmed for you guys so you guys can carry this on as well. Koda, bed. Good.